And people would be like, but it'll be very tough for you because, you're not from a film family and you don't have godfathers and, you're a regular Chembur girl. Of course, people have been asking me, oh, so, you are throwing a light on the sexism that she faces. But don't all of us face that sexism in some way or the other? She is a woman in a male-dominated world. And obviously she faces that. But what is great is that she ignores it and goes ahead and does whatever, you know.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned into PeepingMoon.com. Now, how am I supposed to introduce this one? In the jungle of Bollywood, if there's a tigress who's on prowl for only good roles, it has to be Vidya Balan. And how about the asking the Sherni herself in and out that what exactly is she doing in Sherni? Hi Vidya.
Hi.
Vidya, whatever, okay, I was lucky enough to watch the film. So I can ask you, not revealing anything at
Okay.
all. I
Oh
managed to
wow.
see it last night. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, what about what about Vidya Vincent? If I have to say, she even the trailer also you can see the glimpse that she's calling out the sexism, be it at the workplace or at home. Has this been something which resonated with your character when you were signing it on personally, or was it one of the traits which mainly attracted you towards picking that role in the first place?
No, I don't think so at all. It was an aspect that I saw in the character, and that was definitely attractive to me. But I think what really drew me to the story was the world, was um, how we're we're being made to realize how crucial and integral to our existence is the preservation and the conservation of nature. So, but uh, within that, I think, like you said, as far as my character is concerned, yes, she calls out the sexism, but not in very obvious ways. She's not the kind to actually say it out loud to someone. She's not an aggressive person. She does it through action. She's a doer. So she challenges the status quo or um, calls out the sexism by proving her mettle, by proving that she will go ahead and do what is right at whatever cost, no matter the consequences. You know, and I think,
That I I get that because I can be wrong here, Vidya, when I think that Sherni is a kind of metaphor of your journey in Bollywood as well. If I have to draw it in that analysis, I mean, like she's the one who stands for her calling. She's the one who goes for it. And I don't know if I have put it in the right ways, but this is maybe what my takeaway was by the time I finished it.
wow, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, it could be seen like that, I guess. But I guess, in that sense, it is a metaphor for every woman's journey, because we're all finding our way through this thick
Jungle.
jungle called life, you know. Um, and therefore, I think, of course, mine is a story that people are familiar with because I've been in the public eye for a while now. But, I think take any woman, even a homemaker, she's doing the same thing, navigating her way through this life, in her own way without being very, um, in the most inobtrusive ways sometimes. So I think Sherni is definitely a metaphor for every woman's journey. And I think every
That's
woman is.
how I agree with you here that but there one thing with Amit's films, like Beat even in Newton also, there's a special relation with wild, I would say, in any per se. In that maybe it was a location. In this, it is genuinely a story about a man versus wild, how we perceive it. Uh, and on top of that, when the title came out and the title track, I was very like, okay, Vidya Balan is going to be in her element and doing all those, those I don't know if I should say like the proper reaction things, and she'll be like there holding the bacon. But of course, as when the audience will see, Sherni is not what maybe everyone is going by the title per se. What was it with Amit's vision when you picked up Sherni? Because frankly, you confused me as well in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, I was hoping this Vidya the Sherni, and what it turned out to be.
No, which is why I'm saying, she's not who you describe as a typical Sherni, because you feel that a Sherni is someone who'd be really brazen, who'd be really bold and in your face and maybe even aggressive. She's not that. But is she not a Sherni because she's not any of that? I don't
Yeah,
think so. I think for me, a Sherni is a doer. And she does. That's what I was saying. She does what she wants to do in her own quiet way. She proves her point very quietly, but she proves her point nonetheless. So I think in the trailer itself, you see that Vidya Vincent is a woman of very few words. She's quiet, doesn't even smile too much. I know a lot of people ask me that because I tend to smile a lot, and they were like, "Oh, but in the trailer, it doesn't seem like
I was
a
coming
lot."
to that, as I said. Yeah,
Yeah. So
I was
which
like,
is
this is not Vidya.
yeah, but I think the way Amit Masurkar saw Vidya, he sees her as this person. There are different kinds of people in the world. I'm one kind of woman, you're one kind of woman, Vidya Vincent is another kind of woman. But I think he saw this particular character like that. And most importantly, I think because he believes that you don't have to roar to be a tigress, and that is Vidya Vincent for you.
I totally will go with this one. Vidya, like in film, there have been instances where in your real life, where people have actually questioned your ability to be in a certain place or in a certain profession. Like even in the industry are we in? As I said, I think I drew too many metaphors from your performance by the time I was finished with it.
Yeah, but I think all of us have been underestimated
Do-
at some point or the other as women, because um, and I think we've underestimated ourselves also. It's our conditioning, which is
yeah, I'll go with that. We often underestimate ourselves if even starting a task, like can we or can we not?
yeah, especially for example, in when you see dreams of being uh, in a profession which has been a male bastion forever, you cannot even imagine. I remember when I was setting out to be an actor, and people would be like, but it'll be very tough for you because you're not from a film family and you don't have godfathers, and you know um, you're a regular Chembur girl. And so there are lots of things. It could be anything, and then people would tell me, um, once I joined the industry, I would often get, but you're not conventional. So everything can be a limitation, but the same thing can also be a strength. It's really your perspective. It's what you choose to do with what life throws at you. And um, I think therefore that there's no one way to do anything, and there are as many ways as there are humans, and we have to just not be deterred by what we are told. And I think, of course, people have been asking me, oh, so you are throwing a light on the sexism that she faces, but don't all of us face that sexism in some way or the other? She is a woman in a male dominated world, and obviously she faces that. But what is great is that she ignores it and goes ahead and does
Exactly.
whatever. you know
Vidya, why is it? I think it's very stupid of me to ask, but I'll still do. Why is it that any or every interview of yours has to have a discussion with you when it comes to feminism? Because despite you have said it multiple times that your definition is not it's not an absolute one. It has evolved with time. And we somewhere also are the perpetrators of patriarchy. But when it comes to feminism, everyone has Vidya Balan in the same. I would say it's like 50-50. You have to ask Vidya when you talk about feminism. Why do you think so?
I
Is it
guess
because of your
because
roles or the parts you play or maybe the way you say it?
I don't know. I think it's just because my characters stand for something, because they're so-called female-centric films, I feel people feel the need to ask about feminism. I guess
Because
that's the reason.
yeah, because you have often also said the very same thing, that it's not the female-centric films. And I asked, since lost your interview, I swear to God, I have stopped using that term,
Right.
female-centric films, because it's film. It's as simple as that. And if a
Yes.
female protagonist is doing the lead role, she's doing the lead role. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. But I guess, after the thing is that there are not as many female-centric films as there are hero-led films, male hero-led films. So I guess it still gets mentioned. Hopefully someday that will get blurred, but it's so good to know that you don't use it anymore. I hope someday I'm not asked that question anymore.
Do you realize that by the time Sherni's trailer dropped and after the song, there was this constant comment? I don't think if you have come to your notice, there's this beautiful compliment someone has paid your way. That if, I don't know if you're aware of Kate Winslet's Mayor of Easttown, that if it has to be done in India, one just has to pick Vidya Balan. It just fits the
Hi.
bill. And then the other one says that, and I can send you the shot. It's like Meryl Streep of Bollywood. If there is one woman who can do it all, it's Vidya Balan. How do you react to the
Wow.
comparison?
I'm flattered and humbled and thrilled all at once. Thank you so much. No, I am, people have been telling me about Mayor of Easttown, and I love Kate Winslet and I love her in this show. And I love Meryl Streep anyway. So it's fantastic. But yeah, I guess I still have a long way to go. But it's just good
Maybe
to
because
be.
Maybe because when I ponder over the compliment, it also comes from the space where that you are not afraid to play the age, and it's not your age. You're not afraid to play any age. Be it in
Right.
Shakuntala, we saw, be it back at Pa when you were doing it. I mean, the fear of not doing the character doesn't stand with any character of yours. Can that be a
Right.
reason?
No, I guess because, I've always been very open about my age. So, I have no qualms in saying I'm a happy 42-year-old. I've lived a full life, and at 42, if I'd had children in my early 20s, then maybe I would have had a grown-up kid by now, or even in my 30s. I'm saying, so what's the big deal? I'm not playing myself. I'm playing different people on
Yeah.
screen. So I see great opportunity in being able to live different people's lives on screen.
And each life is equally fascinating.
Thank you.
Yeah, because after Shakuntala, I honestly was wondering what next. What was Vidya going to touch now? We have had family, we had the education. Now, I never thought that we'll be landing you in jungle into a conversation which we often don't have enough for sure.
I didn't think so either. But when Amit came to me, I was like, wow, a film not just set in the jungle, it's about the jungle. That's what sets this
Exactly.
film apart. And I said, every reason to say yes.
Now, Vidya, there have been fans of yours who certainly miss, I do, the dirty picture face. Like, even if you don't want to do the Bollywood dancing and the glam part, you pretty much help us with your Instagram. I think it started with Shakuntala. I have to say it on camera when it was coming. You were the first person in lockdown to do an e-promotion. And
Yes.
when it came to this Sherni, I mean, if at all I can enjoy your Instagram, man, the the variety is enough to satisfy. Is it a way of giving
Thank
back
you.
to fans? Is it a way of giving back to fans like us that even if I'm not giving you a quintessential Bollywood masala per se, this is my, this is way of
You know,
building it dancing
I'm
and
honestly just having fun because I'm not a clothes horse, but I love doing. Um, so just to pose in pictures, I find very boring. So I find ways of, because invariably we shoot pictures of every outfit, every new outfit that we wear, and I'm like, okay, what else can I do? Let's keep it interesting for me also. And by the by, if you people are enjoying it, that's good to know. But I'm just being like goofy because I can't even. I feel sometimes that I can't stand straight. I just want to be.
I'll disagree. I think it is the best way to entertain us for sure.
Oh,
Whether
thank
this
you.
all whether you realize that one IG session of yours created a lot of a buzz, like when you ended up just taking Rishta's first Aditya, people were like, I think Vidya is the right person to reach to. You realize your fun answers, because you legit answer all those fun questions, can actually end up starting Shadi Ka Swayamvar for Aditya out of nowhere.
Really. He's gonna, you know, he's gonna tell me, please stop doing this, because I'm sure he gets enough proposals himself. And of course, there are so many people who ask me, and not just young girls, even married women, women with children. It's amazing. So yeah, it was just fun, yeah.
but yeah, okay. Moving from fun, Vidya, your last visa with Amazon, Shakuntala actually ended up putting it on map that how well a film can perform on OTT, irrespective, when again, as we say, led by a female or a male or anything per se, it's the content to choose. And then we have Sherni. You are somewhere becoming like this big OTT representative, or are you understanding the fact that, of course, we know the theaters will be open soon and we all are hoping our fingers are crossed. But this is now we have this Vidya Balan where people are synonymous that she's going to tell big, bold stories on OTT. How do you take that as?
I take that as a compliment, firstly. And secondly, um, I I like to tell stories, and I want people to watch those stories. I want people to watch those films and enjoy them. So whether it's in the theater or on the OTT, as long as people are watching it, it's a win-win. And I think they'll continue to coexist even when theaters open. Theaters will thrive, and so will the OTT. But with a film like Sherni, I will say this, that the advantage is that it's a universal theme. And Amazon Prime takes Sherni to 240 countries on the 18th of June. So that's really the icing on the cake. I hope that, because this conversation is one which does not require you to understand the language. So I think I'm very happy that Sherni is releasing on Amazon Prime.
And I think with that, at the end of it, it's the content. What's the underlying which comes out of this entire conversation when I have it with any actor? Everyone has the same thing to say, be it age, gender, part or whatever. It's your role and it's the content, and it's like more the merrier. It's like you can get your hands on anything and everything and just go out there without the pressure that you might have to yield a result for a producer who has invested so much per se for a box office release, because it's an expensive business. It's not an easy business when you come to films and the theater.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, what's great about the OTT platforms is that they are genre agnostic. They are format agnostic. There's just, there's something for every mood. There's something for, for varied tastes. Some people like horror, some people like thrillers, some people like romance, you get it all. And whenever you want to, wherever you are, that is so freeing. I think therefore, because of that, the variety, of the kind of content that we're creating has exploded. So, for actors, writers, directors, technicians, it's really so freeing.
Vidya, will it be wrong or right to say when everyone or anyone hails you as Sherni in the right sense of word, not just because of the film title we are currently discussing, but also about all the other aspects you end up speaking about, be it from patriarchy to the pay disparity to anything and everything in the business, but what resonates with you? Because you're not someone who will blow the trumpet on the social media and make an issue out of something. When you get an opportunity like this to interact, you always definitely put forward your point. When people call you as the Sherni of, or I would say Bollywood, I won't mind saying you that. Should it be for the fact that you call a spade, or should it be for the part that the roles you play? Because even equally, they are as empowering as it gets.
I don't know, as long as they recognize that I'm a Sherni just as much as every other woman is, whether she's an actor, whether whether she's a public figure or not, whether her journey is public or not. I think that would be most fulfilling. But yes, I am a Sherni, and so are you, and so are all of us. And yeah, I think I hope people realize that there is no one kind of Sherni. Like I'd say it again and again that you don't need to roar to be a tigress. So whatever
But
they
the,
call me a Sherni for, I'm happy to accept it.
but Vidya Balan is definitely roaring with the big, exciting roles, and I cannot wait to watch what next you are coming up and exciting us with on screen. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Amita.
Vidya.
Thank you.
Thank you
Lovely.
for your time. As
Thank you.
always, this is the easiest conversation I would always say. Talking to you is always the easiest.
How sweet. And you make it easy for me. So thank you.
Thanks so much, ma'am. Thank you.